This is the continuation of the video on the compulsive overeater and the emotional eater. And I will try to be as brief as I was in the prior video. Is there a difference between a compulsive overeater and an emotional eater? The answer is yes. A compulsive overeater is a person who eats compulsively. They don't know how to stop. They don't know when they start. They don't know when to finish. They just eat and eat and eat until they just cannot stop. And usually make themselves sick. Usually get to the point to where they are overfull, nauseous. They just make themselves sick from eating so much. Compulsive overeaters don't know portions. They don't know um, when to stop, how to stop. They just keep eating. If the food is in front of them, they are going to eat. They they don't know how to stop. It's a serious um, condition because it usually causes them to be sick a lot, and it causes different problems for them physically. An emotional eater is someone who can recognize portions and does know when to eat and how to stop. But when they are emotionally stirred, they will eat a lot. An emotion like sadness will make them run to food. An emotion like anger will make them run to food. An emotion like aggravation will make them run to food. There are many emotions that we experience, and an emotional eater will get these emotions and then feel like the only way to solve the problem or soothe the pain of that emotion is to go to food as an anesthetizer. And in the process, they feel better because the food will give them that temporary um, relief, that temporary feel good, that temporary gratification. And when they feel that, they feel better. And then, of course, sometimes it takes a lot of food. And at the end of that emotional eating binge, they're pretty much feeling as bad as the compulsive overeater. But it doesn't happen every day. It's something that happens only when they're stirred by an emotion, and as opposed to the compulsive overeater who eats and eats and eats continuously without even knowing that they're doing it. Now, when I was in a program back in when I lived in Virginia Beach, we had people that were serious compulsive overeaters who were in our compulsive overeating groups. They were usually to the point to where they ate compulsively and didn't even care what they were eating. They just had to have something to eat. And there was one lady who ate starch. Yes, I mean starch. I don't mean the kind of corn starch that you use when you're cooking. I'm talking about the kind of starch that you use in your washing. She would buy the starch and she would make make these like cakes, flakes, whatever. They were like crispy chips, whatever, but they were flakes, and she'd sit there and eat them. And it was hard for her to go through one of our classes, one of our meetings, without picking up the corn store, the storage, not corn storage, it was laundry storage, and she would be chipping on it, eating it. And that was a serious case. This woman could not stop eating for anything. Now, some people would chew gum, and they would be sitting there during a class and be chewing their gum, and it was just a compulsive thing that they couldn't control. And a lot of these people, when they have the surgery, they're told that there's no hope for them. They have to have surgery. But to tell the truth, when the surgery is done, a compulsive overeater is still a compulsive overeater unless they take care of the problem up here. And a lot of the people that were compulsive overeaters after they went through the surgery and they had gone through a year or two, they started to gain the weight back because they couldn't stop eating. So the problem was not to give them surgery, but it was to try to find out what was making them eat so compulsively. As far as the emotional eater is concerned, the emotional eater will eat only when they're stirred by an emotion. And some emotions are good, some emotions are bad, but they're still stirred by that emotion and they want to eat. And that's the answer to the question. And I did it in 6 minutes. And I'm very proud of myself again.